Hey guys, I am super pumped for today's video because it is my first wrap-up video, first to-be-read video I've ever made. Even though I've kind of been a booktuber since the summer, I never really made one of these videos. I don't know why, but I'm making one now. Let's get to it. So the first book I read at the beginning of December was actually a book I read for class. I read The Catcher in the Rye, which many of you know is like a pretty big classic. I was assigned to read it and I remember hating it in high school, and I read it at a college level and I really enjoyed it. It's a great classic if you're looking to, put down the more contemporary novels and pick up like a classic, something that's been praised for years. I really enjoyed it. It's really different, and I'm really glad I got a second chance to read it. After that, I came home for the holidays, so I got to read more fun books, I guess. First book I picked up on a whim was The Fault in Our Stars, which I've been wanting to read for a while, and finally picked it up and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read it. And I loved it. I read it in a day. I'm rereading it now, but at like a slower pace, so I can kind of like pick up on all maybe like the little details that I might have missed. But it's a great read if you guys haven't read it. It's definitely like the saddest, but at the same time the funniest book I've ever read, and it's so meaningful. It's not just a story. There's so much meaning in this book, which is why I love it. So I have a problem, and I have a soft spot in my heart for like love stories and romance novels where everybody just loves each other. I read, it's called Gabriel's Inferno. I hope you guys can see this with the glare. And then I read the sequel, which is his Rapture, if that's how you pronounce that. I saw them, I was like, oh, cool, I'll read that. They seem like people in love, woo! And plus, I heard that they were written by a guy, and that's why I saw on Goodreads that a lot of people were like, oh, I wanted to pick this up because a guy wrote it. And I was like, yeah, why not? They were just kind of like a on the whim, like a fun read. I was just like, oh, I'll pick it up and read it. And they're like really long. They're like 500 pages each. But I whipped through them, and they were just like, everybody's got a weakness for some sort of genre of novel that they just like can't explain why they love it, and they do. And I love when people love each other in books. So yeah. Throughout the month of December, I've been slowly reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is super tiny, so I have no excuse for not reading it, except that I already saw the movie, which I know is so bad, and I know you're all gonna hate me because you're never supposed to see the movie before the book, but I did. I know, I'm sorry. That's my biggest problem with reading it, is because I'll stop at the point where I'm like, oh, I saw the movie, I know what happens next, I'll pick it up later, and then I just forget about it. So it's been in the back of my mind forever. I just need to like sit down and read it, and it's such a good book too. It's not that it's a bad book or anything. I love this book so much. It's so blunt and so real, and it just talks about these huge issues that you would never think would happen in this small tiny little book, but everything's out there. I love it. I just like haven't had the time to pick it up, so this kind of begins our portion of my to be read video. I want to have read this by the beginning of this month. I really do, because I've been meaning to get to it, and it's just I keep forgetting to pick it up. So yeah, I know, I'm bad, sorry. I don't know if you guys have been checking up on my Goodreads at all. If you are not friends with me on Goodreads, you should totally be friends with me on Goodreads. I accept everybody. I love everybody. I love talking about books with other people. Like, let me know that you watch my videos. I will be super pumped to talk to you about anything. I love it. But you may have noticed that I've been trying to get through Specials, which is the third in the Uglies series. And it's not that it's bad, it's just that I can't get through it for some reason. I don't know if it's the writing or something about the story or the pacing. I don't know what it is, but every time I try to pick it up, I read like a page and I put it down. I'm like, I can't do this. And it's just been like that for a while. I started it over the summer, and I whipped through the first two books pretty quickly, and then the third book I just kind of like couldn't do. So I really want to finish this book. I'm at 100 pages in, and I remember pretty well what's going on, so I don't think I need to reread it or anything. But I want to finish it, put it behind me, and I'm so curious as to what happens too. Like, it's not even that I'm like bored by it. I really want to know what happens. I can't get through it. We're gonna do it. Yeah, or at least I'm gonna try. I'm sure a lot of you guys will recognize the next book on my to be read list. I had been dying to read Beautiful Creatures for so long. I am so looking forward to it. I know it's going to be made a movie soon. I'd love to see the movie, but I want to read the book first, and, it's a pretty hefty book. Sorry. I'm so pumped to read it. I just, I have a lot of other things I want to read before I, crack this open, because it is thick. But I've heard great things about it, and I'm really excited to, read it this month, and hopefully I will. So I know this is my first to be read video. I don't know if I'm being a little ambitious, but I've got a lot of books I want to read, and one of them I got for Christmas, which I have been dying since I stumbled upon it somewhere and was like, oh my god, I need to read this. It's called The Selection. I'm just really looking forward to it. I think the story is just really cool. Like, it's one of those books that I can't explain why I like it so much, but just the story just appeals to me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I love this cover. I was talking about this recently. I don't like when there's actual people on the cover. It just bothers me. But for this I love, because I think the colors are so beautiful. And I just love all this in the background. I'm so excited to read this book. Thank you for buying it for me, Mom. So thank you guys for watching my first to be read video. I was really pumped that I got to do this. I don't know why I haven't done one before, but I'm really excited. Hope you guys liked it. If you've read any of the books that I'm about to read, let me know what you think, what you thought of them, if you know, anything along those lines. So I will see you guys next year. Bye!